Tafadhali mpatie makofi ya kilo. Mpe makofi mazuri jameni. Asanti mwanadada wetu Amy, hakika kwa kufanya siku hii ya akina mama kote ulimwenguni kuwa siku ya kufaana, ukiwa na mwenzako dada Suzana. Alikuwa amenipotelea, nikasema nisije nikamtaja na labda shatoka nje. Upo confirm. Na asanti. Kwa sasa Mheshimiwa Rais anaendelea kuelekezwa tunavyoona katika runinga zetu. Kwa hivyo tuendelee kufuatilia tu kutoka mahala kule ili tuweze kujumuika naye baadaye. Nimeweza kumkatiza dada Emi kwa sababu kuna wimbo anafaa anywe maji atengeneze koo ili aweze kumkaribisha Mheshimiwa Rais pamoja na wageni wengine watakapoingia. Msije jameni mkanitupa mawe eti kwa nini nimekatiza utamu huo, mnisamehe. Na kwa sasa nitaomba tu niweze kuwafahamisha kuwa Mheshimiwa Rais atakapoingia kwa kujumuika nasi, tutaombwa sote tusimame ili tuweze kumpokea kulingana na tamaduni na taratibu ilivyo, na tutatulia mahala tutakuwa tumesimama kwa sababu ya wimbo wa taifa na maombi. Kisha baadaye tutapata kuelekezwa kuketi. Katika wimbo wa taifa sote tutaombwa kwa pamoja ili kuashiria uzalendo, tuweze kuimba wimbo huo kwa pamoja ambao ni wimbo wetu wa taifa, ubeti wa kwanza, pamoja na wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Kwa hivyo tafadhali tuweze kuzingatia utaratibu huo, na wakati atakuwa anakaribishwa kujumuika nasi, tunaruhusiwa kumkaribisha kwa shangwe na vigelegele. Kwa hivyo ikiwa ni siku ya kina mama, nikiwa mmoja wao, tunaombwa angalau tusikike tupo kwa kupiga vigelegele. Hebu tujaribu kwa zoezi. 1, 2, 3. Jameni, ni maji ya kunywa ilikuwa kidogo. Wapi wale wanashughulika? Ama ilikuwa ni zoezi ambayo sikuwatayarisha? Aya, tujaribu kwa mara nyingine. Naomba tu kwa heshima. 1, 2, 3. Angalau nashukuru. Kwa hivyo tafadhali tuendelee kujiandaa ili kumpokea mgeni wetu wa heshima, akiwa ataandamana na mama wetu wa taifa pamoja na mama wa taifa jirani la Rwanda. Tuweze kuwakaribisha angalau waone na sisi tupo, na njia zetu ama stailo zetu ni tofauti ambazo zimejaa tabasamu, shangwe na vigelegele. Kwa sasa nikubalie niweze kualika wanabendi wetu ambao niliwahakikishia wao katika utumbuizaji wao hawaneni jambo lolote, bali wanatumbuiza kwa kufinyanga vyombo vyao. Wanabendi wetu wa polisi, tafadhali iwapo mko tayari, uwanja ni wenu.
Unaendelea kutazama sherehe You're watching International Women's Day function or event that is being marked today here at the Kenya School of Government. President Uhuru Kenyatta has already arrived here. Also the First Lady Margaret Kenyatta, Rwanda's First Lady Jeanette Kagame are already here. And what is happening right now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has officially opened the Convention Center, Kenya School of Government Convention Center, And they have proceeded inside to open also officially Margaret Kenyatta Institute for Gender and Social Development. Shortly, President Uhuru Kenyatta will be joining the dignitaries together with invited guests who are here today to mark this event. And what is happening right now is we are having a soft entertainment from the band, military band. And shortly we're expecting President Uhuru Kenyatta to make his way to this place so that the event today can...
Tafadhali tuwape makofi maafisa wetu wa polisi. Asanti sana wanabendi wetu katika utumbuizaji huo. Wacha pia vile Mola awabariki kutokana na kazi hiyo ambayo mnajinyima kuifanya baada ya shughuli chungu nzima. Mnavyoona wageni wetu katika runinga, Mheshimiwa Rais akiwa ameandamana na mama wa taifa letu Mheshimiwa Margaret Kenyatta, vile na mama wa taifa jirani la taifa la Rwanda Bi Jeanette Kagame. Tayari wanaendelea kuelekezwa na kwa sasa wanaelekezwa katika upande wa upanzi wa mti ambao utakuwa ni kumbukumbu na ni mti ambao utatukumbusha mengi. Kwa sasa samahani, wako katika ufunguzi wa taasisi hile ambayo iliweza kubatizwa kwa jina Margaret Kenyatta Institution. Hata kama tuko hapa, tuwape makofi jameni. Asanti, ni kuashiria kuwa tuko pamoja na wao. Ni taasisi ambayo itafaa wengi, hasa wanadada, kwa njia ya kuweza paliliwa kwa masuala ya kujiamini na kujitegemea katika jamii. Kwa hivyo ni bahati ambayo ni kubwa kwa wengi ambao watafanikiwa kujiunga na taasisi hii ambayo inajulikana kama Kenya Institute of Government, almaarufu KSG, taasisi ambayo imewapika wengi wa viongozi kwa masuala mbalimbali. Tunashukuru sana kubahatika pia kupata ufunguzi wa taasisi kama hiyo ambayo itatufaa sote kwa pamoja katika ujenzi wa taifa letu. Kwa sasa sijui kama kwaya ya Ikulu iko tayari ili waweze kututumbuiza kwa kifupi kwa wimbo mmoja, lakini iwapo hawatakuwa wako tayari, tafadhali DJ tupe kibao kimoja wakiendelea kujimwaya mwaya. Karibu.
Nijenge, nikujenge, tujengane.
PPMC Production. side, and this is where I would like to take all your excellencies for the guided tour.
Okay.
Yes, if you allow me. So we are hoping that this will be our podcast for recording any podcast for future learners. This is an office. This will be a live. Yeah, you see it. It's open. Yes. This will be our library. So the pictures that you see are pictures we've taken around the country as we do the medical safaris and the mobile clinics. So yes,
This will be?
the library. Yes. Sorry. Welcome. So this is the learning center. Welcome. Learning center. Yes. So this is where we are trying to model an interesting and innovative way of teaching adults. So it's called a learner-centered approach. That's the methodology that will be used. So you see that the chairs face each other, and so they allow for interaction between the learners. So we are hoping that the learners will bring their knowledge and ideas when they come for learning. And some of the programs that we hope to have are these ones. For example, Your Excellency, you've made commitments around the Generation Equality Forum. So how then do we deliver those within the public service? Because our mandate is really to complement the Kenya School of Government. So the learners will be seated, like you can see there are 4 areas. So there's this area here, and then the 2 at the back and here. So it's really to allow for higher engagement within the learners. So this is the model that we'd like to adopt, and it's called the flipped classroom.
Huh?
Flipped classroom.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you hear from the DG when we are in the dome, the reason why we established this institute, and basically it is to deliver on the social development and gender commitments that the government has made, and to change them and make them practical within the public service.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yes. So
Raise
that.
your hands.
Oh. my short presentation is finished. Yes. Yes.
Now you can take a look at the other side of
Yes.
the facility.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, let me pass, please.
Taifa letu ukiwa lodwa, uliyavumilia na tucheze kinumbi, tumuenzi Mama Ngina. Chakacha, ohangla, na tucheze kayamba, tumuenzi Mama Ngina. Mama Ngina, utawali Mwadhani wa Igoro, mbariki Mama Ngina Kenyatta kwa kazi nzuri. Mwadhani wa Igoro, mbariki Mama Ngina Kenyatta kwa kazi nzuri. Kwa sababu ya nchi, mama mteuliwa, Mungu akubariki. Kwa sababu ya nchi, mama mteuliwa, Mungu akubariki. Mama mpenda nchi Kenya. Umejitolea mhanga, heko mama, kwa vita vya uhuru wa Kenya yetu. Umetembea bega kwa bega, wana Kenya, uchumi wetu sasa unanawiri. Kwa kusaidia yatima, heko mama, elimu kote, umejenga mashule. Kina mama umewakuza kibiashara, mpenda wote, pokea dole letu. Mwadhani wa Igoro, mbariki Mama Ngina Kenyatta kwa kazi nzuri. Mwadhani wa Igoro, mbariki Mama Ngina Kenyatta kwa kazi nzuri. Kwa sababu ya nchi, mama mteuliwa, Mungu akubariki. Kwa sababu ya nchi, mama mteuliwa, Mungu akubariki. Mama mpenda nchi Kenya. Ulimwengu wa kutambua, mama wetu, ushauri wako, busara, upendo, hilo
la Rwanda katika taifa letu.
That's our woman. She makes the world a better place to be. Have you seen?
Asanti, tukiwa tumesalia kusimama, tafadhali tutulie kwa wimbo wa taifa na wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki.
We have seen her journey in Beyond Zero, her journey in Marathon, and many things she has done for this nation. She has indeed put us as a nation. We want to thank you for their friends. We've seen the wife of the President of Rwanda. We thank her for the visit. And so, Lord, this is your day. You have given all of us as women of Kenya. We want to ask you to give us blessings. We want to ask you to increase us respect and discipline as we look into the journey ahead. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Kwa ruhusa yako Mheshimiwa Rais, naomba tuketi. Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, Mheshimiwa Mama wa Taifa letu la Kenya, Bi Margaret Kenyatta, Mheshimiwa Mama wa Taifa jirani la Rwanda, Bi Jeanette Kagame, mawaziri mliofika, wageni waalikwa, mabibi na mabwana. Karibu sana katika sherehe hii ya siku ya leo ya kuwasherehekea akina mama na dada zetu wote kote ulimwenguni. Mwaka huu wa 2022, mada yetu kuu ikiwa ni Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Mheshimiwa Rais, kwa ruhusa yako naomba nikuvukishe kwa kipindi cha burudani fupi mno ambayo tutaweza kutumbuizwa na msanii wetu dada Emmy Kosgei kwa kifupi. Karibu uburudike Mheshimiwa Rais.
Good afternoon. The all protocols observed. Please, we are singing the song Mama to celebrate the strength of a woman from the African perspective and to encourage women to arise and let their voices be heard.
zako walishaweka haba, iliyosalia haba ni zamu yako mama. Kumbuka haba na haba hujaza kibaba, we mama. Wapi vigelegele jameni?
Asanti sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Kwa sasa ninaomba kwa ruhusa yako uweze kuelekeza macho kwa runinga iliyo karibu nawe, angalau tuweze kupata mazungumzo ya kifupi kutoka kwa mkurugenzi mkuu wa Eastern Africa Ford Foundation, Bi Jessica Hon, ili aweze kuzungumza kwa kifupi tu.
Honorable First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, honorable guests, fellow development partners, civil society, members of the private sector, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sending greetings from Uganda. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be with you in person today. However, would very much like to confer a message of celebration and of congratulation on behalf of the Ford Foundation. International Women's Day is, of course, a very auspicious day to launch such an initiative, the Margaret Kenyatta Institute for Gender and Social Development, as an effort that will seek to build women's leadership in the public sector and beyond. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the Ford Foundation's presence in East Africa, and we will continue to be proud to partner with East Africans as we have done in this initiative in the advancement of democracy and development in the region, which of course necessarily includes the advancement of women. So in that spirit, we applaud this initiative. We also join you in celebrating everybody who's receiving an award today and wishing you a very happy International Women's Day.
Shukran za dhati kwa mkurugenzi mkuu wa Eastern Africa Ford Foundation. Kwa sasa kwa ruhusa yako tena Mheshimiwa Rais, nikubalie niweze kumwalika Resident Coordinator United Nations System in Kenya, Daktari Stephen Jackson, angalau pia aweze kuzungumza kwa kifupi. Karibu sana daktari.
Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, Mheshimiwa Mama wa Taifa la Kenya, Margaret Kenyatta, Mheshimiwa Mama wa Taifa la Rwanda, Jeanette Kagame, mwiriwe, murakaza neza, Waziri na dada yangu, Prof. Margaret Kobia, waheshimiwa mawaziri, mabalozi, marafiki, na oye, wakina mama. It's not finished. On behalf of the United Nations and Kenya's international partners, Mheshimiwa Rais, nina heshima kubwa kuadhimisha siku ya kimataifa ya wanawake pamoja nanyi leo. Mheshimiwa Rais, asante sana for your leadership on gender equality in Kenya, Africa, and around the world. Your government has helped to turn Kenya's progressive 2010 constitution into real change for Kenya's women and girls. And you have proven tirelessly committed to ending gender-based violence and female genital mutilation, leveraging your global leadership within generation equality. Please. Makofi sana. And you've entrusted women with the highest responsibilities. The first female Cabinet Secretary of Defense, the first female Chief Justice. So as your presidency draws to its foreseen constitutional close, please know that the United Nations will continue to call on your international leadership for gender. And we have no doubts that you will answer our call. But, Mheshimiwa Rais, if we had any doubts that you would answer our call, we know where to turn. Because we count on your remarkable First Lady for her leadership and example. You and I were together just last year in Nakuru, Mheshimiwa Rais, to mark World AIDS Day together. And we underlined that gender inequality is a key driver of the AIDS pandemic and vice versa. And that's why we're bringing joined-up leadership and support to bear on the twinned fights for gender equality and eradicating HIV. And that's why we've recently mobilized $7 million American to launch the world's first development impact bond for adolescent sexual and reproductive health right here in Kenya. National peace infrastructure. Women in Kenya have always driven peace building and peacemaking. This new network, along with a national mediation team soon to be launched, and the new Uwiano strategy that we launched together this morning, all put women front and center as August approaches, because women's leadership can ensure uchaguzi bila noma. Mheshimiwa Rais, I know we can count on your passionate support to all of these crucial peace-building initiatives, and you can count on the United Nations. We cannot leave women and girls behind in Kenya, or Kenya herself will be left behind. When we met last year, during the Deputy Secretary General's last visit, I had the honour to present to you the United Nations' new UN Kenya Leave No One Behind analysis. And because of what it told us very, very clearly, we're building our new UN Kenya support envelope for the next 4 years centrally around that focus on women and girls. So, you'll be relieved to hear I'm finishing. Mheshimiwa Rais, Marafiki, let me end by calling on and encouraging all the women of Kenya to use their power, their networks, and their innovation to lead us in 2022 and going forwards. Please help your communities combat and adapt to the ravages of the climate emergency, and please also lead us to prevent violence in your communities so that Kenya, once again, provides a model to Africa and the world of uchaguzi bila noma. Heri ya siku.
Braces whose shoulders we stand on. Your Excellency, during the International Women's Day celebration in 2018, you directed that the ministry that is responsible for gender and the culture should support the trailblazers to document their memoirs. I'm pleased, Your Excellency, to report that 3 publications have been, which are displayed here, have been launched this morning. Your Excellency, these are publications by Cheer Grit by Honorable Sipora Kitonyi. The second one, Witness to Transitions by Professor Julia Ojiambo. And the third one was Staying on Course by Dr. Lindia Zomo. So if you are here, please can we stand? Where are the trailblazers? Please stand and we give them a big hug. Thank you, Your Excellency. Further, this morning, we have launched the first ever gender policy for private sector in Kenya. I would like to recognize the leadership of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance led by CEO Caroline Kariuki Karuga and our team. Are you here today? We are celebrating. Thank you. This policy will go a long way in advancing gender equality and women's empowerment in the private sector. Your Excellency, in fact, the private sector lags behind the government, and that effort from private sector is applauded. Lastly, we launched a publication on conversation with the pathfinders, Kenya women in politics, in the leadership, social mobilization, and their contribution to Constitution 2010. This is a publication by the University of Nairobi Women's Economic Empowerment Hub based in African Women's Studies Center. I would like to recognize the Vice Chancellor who is with us, Stephen Kiama, Dr. Wanjiko Kabera, and if you are here, can you stand and we applaud you? Your Excellency, we are doing that because today we are demonstrating results. Your Excellency, as we celebrate of the first lady, given them their recognition award, and allow me, Your Excellency, just to mention them so that we can applaud them. The first one was, and not in any order, Honorable Grace Onyango, Honorable Mama Phoebe Asio, Her Excellency Margaret Ngina Kenyatta, Mrs. Joan Mujomba, Honorable Senator Kitoni, Mrs. Mudhoni Rikimani, Honorable Nyeba Mwendwa, Professor Lea Malangu, Professor Miriam Were, Mrs. Honelin Kipragat, and Enda Kashukia. Your Excellency, nobody can ask who is that in this room. They are our senior trailblazers whose shoulders we stand on. Your Excellency, during the International Women's Day celebration in 2018, you directed that the ministry that is responsible for gender and the culture should support the trailblazers to document their memoirs. I'm pleased, Your Excellency, to report that 3 publications have been, which are displayed here, have been launched this morning. Your Excellency, these are publications by Cheer Grit by Honorable Sipora Kitoni. The second one, Witness to Transitions by Professor Julia Ojiambo. And the third one was Staying on Course by Dr. Lindia Zomo. If you are here, please can we stand? Where are the trailblazers? Please stand and we give them a big hand. Thank you, Your Excellency. Further, this morning, we have launched the first ever gender policy for private sector in Kenya. I would like to recognize the leadership of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance led by CEO Caroline Kariuki Karuga and our team. Are you here today? We are celebrating. Thank you. This policy will go a long way in advancing gender equality and women's empowerment in the private sector. Your Excellency, in fact, the private sector lags behind the government, and that effort from private sector is applauded. Lastly, we launched a publication on conversation with the pathfinders, Kenya women in politics, in the leadership, social mobilization, and their contribution to Constitution 2010. This is a publication by the University of Nairobi Women's Economic Empowerment Hub based in African Women's Studies Center. I would like to recognize the Vice Chancellor who is with us, Stephen Kiama, Dr. Wanjiko Kabera, and if you are here, can you stand and we applaud you? Your Excellency, we are doing that because today we are demonstrating results. Your Excellency, as we celebrate. Your Excellency, today we are also delighted with the launch of Margaret Kenyatta Institute for Center for Gender and Social Development that will support capacity development in the nation and beyond. Oh yeah. Your Excellency, allow me to recognize UNFPA Country Director, Representative, Dr. Andemora Orajide, whose tenure has come to an end, and he has been very supportive on gender-based violence and particularly program on FGM. Your Excellency, allow me to just wish him well in his future endeavors. Finally, sir, allow me to appreciate the staff of the Office of the First Lady, development partners, most of them sitting at that corner, and the overall ministerial organizing committee, including the Ministry of Culture, which is represented here by the CS Amina. Where is CS Amina? Yeah, they helped. Your Excellency, they supported the publication of the memoirs as you directed. So I thank them for a job well done. Congratulations. Your Excellency, today we have been a little bit longer, but bear with us, we are just celebrating as women. And I think I now am at that point where it is my humble duty to welcome Her Excellency the First Lady Margaret Kenyatta to make her address, and I think if she has several items to do, if she pleases, she can go on with the program. Your Excellency, I welcome you, and thank you very much for honoring us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And can we give her a better clap, because she has been our... She has been our chief guest on International Women's Day for the last 5 years, including even when we had COVID. Can we give her a clap?
Thank you.
Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency Madame Kagame, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome our special guest and friend with whom we have shared many warm and cordial relations for many years. She has visited us in Kenya in the past and even participated in running in the Beyond Zero Marathon. She has a passion for women and girls and champions issues that affect livelihoods of communities in Rwanda. Today, she has graciously accepted our invitation to participate in the celebration of International Women's Day. I invite my friend, Her Excellency, Mrs. Jeanette Kagame, First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, to greet you and share her remarks.
Habari zenyu. So you're done with that?
No, I'm not done. I'm coming back. Do you want to say anything for Women's Day?
Later.
Later? No. It's your turn. It's your turn.
That was really short.
No, I'm continuing.
Okay. Your Excellency, the President of Kenya, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellency, the First Lady of Kenya, Margaret Kenyatta, honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, good afternoon. Ni furaha kwangu kuwa pamoja nanyi leo hii hapa Nairobi. Asanteni sana kwa mwaliko. How befitting and joyful to be here with you on this International Women's Day to celebrate phenomenal women and gender activism around the world upon the invitation of a woman for whom I bear great esteem. Your Excellency, Mrs. Kenyatta, you said on this day 6 years ago that the actions of women, measurable and immeasurable, hold up half of our society, half of our country, and as you quoted, it half of the world's sky. There is a thorny truth to these words. For all their beauty, they address an injustice that has festered the millennia and that crucial dates such as this one have advocated against for over a century. Gender inequality lives on despite the innovative and at times heroic feats that many women around the world have achieved and for which they have been publicly recognized. At the rate of our current efforts, the World Economic Forum estimates that it will take 135 years or until 2157 for the gender gap to close. The figures are grim, and some questions remained unanswered. With newly emerging threats to the stability and welfare of populations such as climate change and resource depletion, is the world truly comfortable with women being the first in the casualty line? Women make up 70% of the world's poor, and this poverty renders them especially vulnerable to the humanitarian consequences of natural disasters, drought, and famine. 80% of the people displaced by climate change are women. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to stand aside as our resources are misdistributed and depleted, and as natural disasters gain in frequency, is at best to accept a fate that rips the majority of the world's women from their homes, and that robs them of the dignity to which they are entitled. Honorable dignitaries, esteemed guests, we must address the global indifference towards the issues of sustainability and climate change mitigation. Passivity has poisoned us. It has fed the cynicism of some and the hopelessness of others. It has convinced masses that climate change, a frightful brute of modern society's own making, is unbeatable, unavoidable, and most importantly, none of our concern. But to this, I must ask what justice, what dignity, and what godliness there is in choosing to relegate an ailing world to our children. I know there is integrity and heart in the world, for I have seen their wonders in women whose names are synonymous with courage, dedication, and environmental heroism. To your beloved and never forgotten Wangari Maathai, rest in peace. Today we celebrate the values with which she enriched the world and the movements, initiatives, and vision that these values have engendered. Today, we recognize the scale of the dangers that she and brave women like Gambia's Aïssatou Cissé spotted and opposed before most of us would even know. And today, I hope that our decisiveness honors these women's effort and those of every individual that has embarked on the Green Mission. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kigali Agreement, which has been ratified by 129 countries, had ambitions beyond reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It needed to show precedence for any Rwandan and any African watching that change could be sparked or energized here on our soil. The Rwanda Green Fund's success has been a testament to our potential for ethical, sustainable advancement and to the impact of this progress on the welfare of both men and women. The numbers are beyond encouraging. Of the 176,000 green jobs created by the fund in Rwanda alone, 60% have gone to women. And I believe this figure offers irrefutable proof that mitigation, sustainability, and gender equality are interdependent. Esteemed guests, I hope that every young mind, every organization, every institution, or governmental body that desires a green future is faithful that our sustainability is attainable if we alleviate the load of women. So I ask with a stubborn optimism, are we ready at last to do the imperative? Your Excellency, Mr. President, your presence today testifies to your engagement to a cause that is much better described as the responsibility of an entire civilization than the plight of one gender. I applaud your integrity, for it's impossible to truly love one's people without loving the half that has and will birth them all. Esteemed guests, allow me to celebrate one more incredible woman's accomplishment today as I close my remarks. Considering how great an athlete she is, it's no surprise that she has sprung with such vitality between planning this wonderful celebration, creating a learning center that aligns excellence, innovation, and social awareness, and tending to the responsibilities of her position with her signature grace. Mrs. Kenyatta. Your Institute for Gender and Social Development is yet another impressive finish line you have crossed. This collaboration between Beyond Zero and the Kenya School of Development is ripe with promise. And my dear sister, you have exemplified how the half can and should strive to provide solution for itself. You have demonstrated with the hard work and principle of a truly empowered woman that though support is valued and welcomed, a community, whether united by experience, race, or gender, can look inwards for solutions. I'm thankful for today, and I'm looking forward to closing it with a wonderful read through the inspirational anthology of speeches that you have published today. Congratulations again. Nawashukuru sana kwa muda wenu. Muwe na siku njema. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be here to celebrate this day with you. It's a special day dedicated to women and girls all over the world. This year's International Women's Day theme, Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, resonates in so many ways with all our experiences as women. It speaks about the issues that affect our advance towards gender equality. The conversations we have had this morning were led by women and men who have championed this cause in their communities. It's therefore indeed a great honor to be here amongst you. This year's theme amplifies the barriers that women face and the importance of inclusivity to achieve economic development and social change. It also highlights the inequalities facing women and girls, as well as vulnerable groups as a result of climate change. But it also brings to the fore the role of women and girls as powerful change agents because of their resilience, their courage, and the influential roles they play in their homes, their communities, our country, and the world. I thank the Ministry of Public Service, Gender, Senior Citizens and Special Programs, together with all their partners represented here, for creating this valuable opportunity to help others find their voice and to celebrate the valuable contribution of the many individuals who have steered forward the journey of empowering our women and girls, individuals who have worked tirelessly to eradicate all forms of violence against women and girls. Individuals who have empowered our women and girls as well as entire communities in economic empowerment, because we know the nexus between economic capability and eradication of all forms of violence. There's also another reason I'm honored to be part of this celebration today. We have launched the start of an initiative that will focus its work on gender and social development. The Margaret Kenyatta Institute recognizes capabilities of many different people, especially women and girls, as leaders in their own right. It recognizes communities as important contributors of social and economic transformation. This has also been the passion and inspiration behind Beyond Zero, and I'm truly inspired and excited about our partnership with the Kenya School of Government. Our joint obligation is to come up with practical innovations that are geared for social change, and I remain committed towards that journey. With those remarks, it is now my honor and pleasure to invite our chief guest, please be upstanding, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to make his remarks. Thank you. Happy Women's Day. God bless you all.
Please be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Margaret. Your Excellency, Mrs. Jeanette Kagame, the First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our trailblazers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me begin by saying that it is a great pleasure to be here today as we as Kenyans join the rest of the world in celebrating the 2022 International Women's Day. I am happy to note that this gathering does include an intergenerational mix of participants from the entire spectrum of our society. Our progress on gender equality has been driven by countless women at the grassroots, in academia, in politics, but entrepreneurial women. And since 2013, through the Women Enterprise Fund, for example, over 20 billion Kenya shillings has been dispersed to over 1 million women enterprises across our country. And since the implementation of our new constitution in 2010, various legislations have been enacted to advance gender equality. Among the most notable is the Matrimonial Property Act of 2013, which safeguards women's property rights, the Land Act and the Land Registration Act, which secures women's land rights, the Prevention Against Domestic Violence Act of 2015, as well as the Election Offences Act 2016 to protect women against violence during elections. Ladies and gentlemen, it is notable, yes, that we have made significant progress in empowering our women folk, but we cannot say that we have achieved all our objectives, and therefore we cannot rest on our laurels. There are still outstanding systemic, structural, and cultural barriers, as well as regional disparities to address. A continuous focus on gender issues is therefore a priority for my administration and should be so even for future administrations. To enable girls from poor backgrounds to stay in school, we have ensured that at least 50% of scholarships are allocated to girls. In 2020, for example, out of 4,811 out of 9,000 scholarships were awarded to girls. And in addition, the government allocates annually about 400 million Kenya shillings to ensure that girls in public schools have access to free sanitary towels. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, female genital mutilation is one cultural practice that has continued to undermine the realization of the potential of our womenfolk. Indeed, it undermines the participation of girls in education, and in addition, it has harmful health consequences. In recognition of this fact, I did make a personal commitment to lead the war to end female genital mutilation. I'm pleased to inform this gathering on the progress that we have made to curb this harmful practice, and I want to applaud cultural as well as religious leaders, especially from the Borana, Samburu, and Pokot communities, who have made bold public declarations to eliminate FGM and child marriages. And I note in particular the Kisima Declaration in Samburu, which I personally witnessed. Gender-based violence violates women's basic human rights. It undermines women's productivity, and it diminishes their self-worth. Gender-based violence also has serious and disruptive spillover effects on our children. As a country, we are proud to co-lead the Global Action Coalition on advancing gender equality and ending all forms of gender-based violence. And indeed, last June, during the Paris Generation Equality Forum, we announced a set of bold commitments to address systemic barriers that allow gender-based violence to thrive in Kenya. And to date, we have recognized some progress towards the fight against gender-based violence. First, we have developed guidelines for the management of county gender-based violence recovery centers to ensure that survivors have access to quality essential services. Second, in October of last year, we launched the integrated policy response to gender-based violence for the National Police Service, and the policy would steer the National Police Service in the establishment, management, and operations of one-stop centers to provide survivors with comprehensive legal, psychosocial, as well as health support. And third, an anti-FGM prosecution unit that has been set up in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. So, ladies and gentlemen, while the government will continue to strengthen the laws and regulations to address gender-based violence, it is incumbent upon all of us as individuals and society to protect our women and girls. These are our daughters, our sisters, and our loved ones. I must at this stage refer to what was referred to here, because without a doubt that was a very disheartening thing to see, and it is only one of others that have occurred across this country, we must be honest. And yesterday, I did give instructions and I have ordered a crackdown on all border operators starting here in Nairobi and moving across the country. And the reason I have just chosen just to pause, just to refer to this, is because I know with this, and because we're in the silly season of politics, there are some out there who will go out and start saying the government is harassing small traders, small business people. There is nothing further from the truth. We want to see our young people succeed in their businesses. There is no government that has done more to support our young people in trying to foster their businesses. There is no government that has done what we have done to help these borders in terms of reducing the price of these motorbikes. And we have seen the number and how they have flourished across the country. That was not done because we wanted to kill their business. We wanted to promote their business. We wanted to ensure that they are able to earn a decent daily wage, which is still our commitment. We applaud the many wonderful young men, and in some cases women, who ride these motorbikes and do great service to this country, delivering people who ordinarily would have had to walk long distances, that last mile, where a bus or a matatu will not go, and helping passengers with their luggage to get to their doorsteps. We know the great work that they are doing in terms of helping us achieve a truly digital economy through delivery of goods across our country using borders, actually really boosting our digital economy. We have heard of many heroic stories of young men who have come to the rescue of women and people in distress voluntarily and returning even goods that people have left behind. This we cherish, we love, and we want to support, and we shall continue to support. But friends, that is not a license for you and your motorbike to harass pedestrians by driving on pedestrian walkways and chasing them back off onto the road. It's not a license that allows for a border to be used to do drive-by shootings or to break vehicles' windows and harass motorists along the road. And most definitely, it is not a license for you to strip and remove dignity from our women. No. No. We want to work together with you. We want to help your business prosper. But you must also do your bit, kwa sababu wateja wenu ni hawa wakina mama. Watakuwa wateja wenu kwa njia gani ikiwa nyinyi wenyewe mnawatokosea heshima vile mumewakosea? We cannot be a society that allows that. Na mimi nauliza viongozi, tafuteni hawa wabaya katikati yenu muwaondoe. We are going to re-register you all again, and we must make sure. Kwa hivyo, wale wanataka kupiga siasa, wapige siasa. Sisi tunajua tunalinda maisha na mali na haswa wakina mama wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, na tutafanya hivyo. So as I have said, I have instructed the law enforcement officers to use the instruments within the law to punish these perpetrators. And there should never be a repeat of what we saw, for this is a blight on the entire Kenyan society. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here today on the theme gender equality, today for a sustainable tomorrow. And this recognizes that climate change, as well as environmental degradation, pose an existential threat to the planet. However, while everyone is threatened, it is the world's poorest and those in vulnerable situations, especially women and girls, who bear the brunt of climate-related social economic effects. All the evidence underscores the vital link between gender, social equity, and climate change, and recognizes that without gender equality, a sustainable future will remain out of reach. In the last 5 years, Kenya has witnessed severe as well as prolonged droughts and the worst locust outbreak in 25 years, while rising water levels in the Rift Valley have also displaced thousands of people. Women have been disproportionately affected because of their central role in crop and livestock production. Women walk long distances to look for water, and they have left behind children and small livestock whom they are forced to look after while men move away in search of scarce pasture and water in pastoral communities. And they also bear the brunt of the national resource-based conflicts, as we have seen in parts of our country. But women are not just victims of climate change. I do believe, as we have heard today, that they are also part of the solution. As agents of change to mitigate climate change and to strengthen resilience and adaptability, we have a strong platform for women to be at the forefront of sustainability. Actions we have taken to strengthen women empowerment, improve their ownership of assets such as land, and to increase their control of financial resources have consolidated the role of women as change makers. We now need to harness that capacity by putting women and girls at the center of our climate change initiatives. This includes initiatives on climate financing, new technologies, as well as training. I applaud the many women in Kenya who are at the forefront in leading sustainability initiatives across the country. They include women groups, such as a group in Marsabit that is working with World Vision and the Kenya Forestry Service to promote regreening and reforestation initiatives. I also note a number of people who have also key executives, such as Rebecca Miano, a leader in the generation of renewable energy, as well as innovators such as Nora Magero, the founder and CEO of Drop Access, a youth-led social enterprise that develops practical and affordable energy solutions. Nora has developed the VaxiBox, a portable solar-powered refrigerator that is easily mounted on a bicycle or motorbike to safely transport and store medical as well as food supplies. So to them, we give our congratulations as we encourage more of our women and girls to participate in climate change activities. So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to also recognize our women trailblazers who championed gender equality and the empowerment of women in the early years of our independence and after our independence. Their bold, tireless, and unheralded work paved the way and set the pace for the great progress we witness today on gender equality. I want to thank, through you, Margaret Kobia, not Margaret Kenyatta this time, the Department for Gender for organizing visits to these women and encouraging younger women to draw instructive lessons from these pace setters. We as a country advance when we learn from the past and use the lessons as a springboard to build a better future. In this spirit, today we shall be conferring awards to celebrate women and girls who have done exemplary work in their respective fields to promote gender equality and the empowerment of women.
Who have successfully completed training on sustainable approaches to eradication of FGM at the Kenya School of Government. The training was conducted with the generous support from the Anti-Female Genital Mutilation Board, as well as from the United Nations Population Fund. Cohort 1 comprises 70 champions. This cohort is graduating with us, but virtually. They are watching right now. Let us applaud them all. The second cohort is graduating here on campus and comprises 44 champions. They are all present with us here. Please rise up.
And female genital mutilation by 2022. Ending female genital mutilation requires our collective effort, and I congratulate you all for this great achievement. Female genital mutilation is the worst form of gender-based violence meted on women and girls. I commend you for the outstanding work you have done and the commitment you have demonstrated to continue to bring this practice to an end. As we celebrate this year's International Women's Day, I encourage you to go forth and continue to do this great work in your communities using the knowledge and experience you have all shared together. Congratulations.
Innovation, NACOSTE. They are the first who have ensured that the 17th performance contracting cycle on gender and GBV. Your Excellency, for the Anti-FGM Lifetime Award, we have the Honorable Agnes Pareyo. Your Excellency, for the Service Award under FGM and JV programs, we have Dr. Ademola Olajide, Country Representative UN. Last but not least, please stay standing. This year, Your Excellency, we are recognizing female officers in prisons who are pushing public service reforms in our institution of rehabilitation. I want to start with Superintendent Asha Siome from Kisumu, Kitale Women Prisons, Superintendent of Prisons Mwangombe from Wundanyi, Superintendent Margaret Waithera from Kisii Women Prisons, Superintendent Marianne Wanjiru from Thika Women Prisons, Chief Inspector Nancy Chepkonga from Lodwar Women Prisons, Inspector Jamutai from Kapenguria Women Prisons, and lastly, former offender Teresia Njoroge from Langata Women Prisons. I submit, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Kwa sasa tunatamatisha na ninamkabidhi mwenzangu June Ogola. Tafadhali tuelekeze.
Asante sana mfawidhi mwenzangu. Your Excellency, we are now coming to the last in the program, not the least but the main of launching. We are now inviting you, Your Excellency, to come and launch Margaret Kenyatta Institute strategic plan for this year, up to this year, running to the coming years, which now I invite you, Your Excellency, with their excellencies to accompany you to come and conduct the launch, Your Excellency. Let us give another round of applause. Yes, we applaud them. Thank you for that wonderful. May I now request that we take our positions as we wait for the closing national anthem. And now wherever you are, ninawaomba nyote tuweze kusimama ili tuweze kupata wimbo wa taifa ya kutamatisha sherehe ya siku ya leo. Basi sote tukiwa tumesimama wima, wimbo wa taifa la Kenya.